colander looks harmless, metal or plastic with holes. What could possibly go wrong? For seniors, more than you think, from toxic coatings leaching into pasta water to flimsy handles giving way under boiling loads, some colanders silently contaminate every meal you rinse. Today, we expose 9 colander brands to avoid at all costs and the 2 that actually deserve your trust. Coming in at number 9, we have Mainstays stainless steel colander. You have seen it at Walmart. Cheap, shiny, looks like it will handle any job you throw at it. But here is what Mainstays does not tell you on that bright packaging. Consumer testing and independent lab analysis have flagged serious concerns about the grade of stainless steel used in budget colanders like this one. The promise is simple kitchen efficiency at an unbeatable price. The reality is a thin, reactive metal surface that may contain trace amounts of nickel and chromium capable of leaching directly into acidic foods. Now, you might think, I am just draining pasta. How acidic can that really be? But consider this carefully. Tomato-based sauces splashing against the metal as they drain. Lemon-dressed salads sitting in the bowl while excess liquid drips through. Vinegar-pickled vegetables releasing their acidic brine through those shiny holes. Every single time you rinse something acidic through low-grade stainless steel, you risk microscopic metal transfer directly into the food your family will eat. For seniors managing kidney function or taking blood pressure medications, even trace heavy metals can accumulate over time and strain systems that are already working harder than they should. Your doctor warns you about sodium intake and potassium levels. Nobody mentions the cheap colander sitting innocently in your dish rack, contributing to your toxic load. And that is not even the biggest problem with this product. The construction quality on the Mainstays colander is notoriously inconsistent from one unit to the next. Customers have reported rough, unfinished edges inside the drainage holes that catch on sponges during washing. Those burrs and sharp lips create tiny pockets where food particles get trapped and cannot be removed no matter how thoroughly you scrub. You rinse it under running water, you scrub with soap, you think it is clean. But bacterial colonies are forming in those microscopic grooves where your brush cannot reach. Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, all thrive in warm, moist environments rich with organic matter. Your colander, sitting in the dish rack overnight, still damp from last night's spaghetti dinner, becomes a breeding ground you cannot see with your eyes and cannot scrub clean no matter how hard you try. The handles on this model present another serious failure point. Spot-welded rather than riveted with solid construction, they have a documented history of loosening over time with regular use. Imagine lifting a pot full of boiling water and drained potatoes, confident in your grip, and suddenly the handle gives way without warning. For seniors with arthritis or reduced grip strength in their hands, this is not just an inconvenience. It is a scalding hazard waiting to happen in your kitchen. Mainstays promises exceptional value for budget-conscious shoppers. What you actually get is a kitchen tool that may be slowly poisoning you while putting you at risk for severe burns and bacterial infection with every use. At number 8, we have IKEA idealisk colander. Swedish design. Minimalist Scandinavian aesthetic. The IKEA promise is always the same message: affordable, functional, stylish for modern living. But the idealisk colander has a dirty secret that most buyers never discover until the damage is already done. The drainage holes on this popular model are punched rather than properly drilled through the metal. That might sound like a minor manufacturing detail that only engineers would notice, but it matters enormously for food safety. Punched holes leave microscopic metal shavings and burrs on the interior surface that remain after production. These tiny imperfections are completely invisible to the naked eye, but run your fingers slowly along the inside surface and you might feel them catching against your skin like fine sandpaper. More importantly for your health, food particles cling to them with remarkable stubbornness that resists normal washing. Independent kitchen safety advocates have tested colanders like the idealisk under laboratory conditions and found alarming levels of bacterial contamination even after what appears to be thorough washing with hot water and dish soap. The problem is simple geometry that creates complex health risks. Those punched holes create a slightly raised lip on one side of each opening. Water pools around those raised edges instead of draining cleanly through. Organic matter from your food collects in the tiny ridges over time. And because you cannot see this contamination accumulating, you assume your colander is clean when it is anything but safe for food contact. For seniors with compromised immune systems from age or medication, this invisible threat becomes genuinely dangerous with every meal prepared. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Food Protection found that kitchen tools with textured or uneven surfaces harbored up to 400% more bacteria than smooth alternatives after identical cleaning procedures. 400% more contamination. That is not a rounding error. That is the difference between a safe meal and a foodborne illness that lands you in the hospital. The idealisk also has a stability problem that catches many buyers by surprise. The base is noticeably small relative to the bowl size above it. When you set it in the sink and pour in heavy contents like a full pot of pasta, it tips without warning. Hot water splashing across the counter. Food spilling into the sink. A loss of balance as you reach quickly to catch it before everything goes wrong. IKEA markets this as smart Scandinavian design for modern homes. What they neglect to mention is the hidden bacterial trap and the tipping hazard that comes standard with every purchase. Now at number 7, we have OXO Good Grips Stainless Steel Colander. This one hurts to report because OXO has built an entire brand reputation on ergonomic, senior-friendly design that considers the needs of aging hands. The soft handles that cushion arthritic joints. The non-slip grips that compensate for reduced hand strength. It all looks so thoughtfully engineered with seniors specifically in mind. But when it comes to their stainless steel colander, OXO has made quality compromises that betray the very customers who trust them most. The first problem becomes apparent after regular use over several months. The silicone coating on the handles degrades with repeated exposure to heat and moisture in ways you do not expect. It becomes tacky and unpleasant to touch. It starts to peel away in small patches that look concerning. And here is what OXO does not advertise. Degraded silicone can harbor mold and harmful bacteria in ways that are nearly impossible to clean effectively. That soft surface you loved when the colander was new becomes a significant contamination risk after a year of regular kitchen use. Consumer complaints on major retail sites tell a consistent and deeply troubling story. The silicone discolors to an unpleasant gray or yellowish tinge that does not wash away. It develops a strange smell that persists no matter what cleaning products you try. Some users report a slimy texture that remains even after aggressive scrubbing with hot water. That persistent slime is biofilm, a matrix of bacteria that forms a protective layer around itself, making the organisms nearly impossible to kill with standard dish soap. For seniors, biofilm presents particular dangers that younger people might more easily fight off. If you are taking immunosuppressant medications for rheumatoid arthritis or autoimmune conditions, your body simply cannot defend against infections the way it once could. A colander coated in invisible biofilm transfers bacteria to every single food you drain through it. Your fresh vegetables from the farmer's market, your rinsed berries for breakfast, your pasta for Tuesday night dinner, all contaminated by a kitchen tool you paid premium prices for because you thought it was higher quality. The structural issues compound the health concerns significantly. Multiple consumer reports indicate that the welded joints between the bowl and the handles develop small gaps over time. Water seeps into these gaps during washing. It cannot dry out completely because there is no air circulation in that tight space. Rust forms on the inside where your eyes cannot see it developing. You pick up your trusted OXO colander, and it looks perfectly fine from the outside. But inside those joints, corrosion is slowly eating away at the structure, and rust particles are flaking off into your food with every single use. OXO promises good grips and better living in their advertising. What they actually deliver with this colander is a kitchen tool with a limited safe lifespan and hidden contamination risks that seniors cannot afford. Most people never learn how to fix this problem properly, but we will break it down clearly at the end of the video. Stick around, because the solution is coming, and it could change how you choose kitchen tools forever. Number 6 brings us to Farberware Classic Stainless Steel Colander. Farberware has been a trusted name in American kitchens for well over a century of cooking traditions. Your grandmother probably had Farberware cookware that she used every day and treasured. Your mother likely relied on it too for countless family meals. That generational legacy creates deep trust that spans decades, and that earned trust is exactly what makes this betrayal so painful to report. The Farberware Classic Colander is marketed as a return to simple, reliable kitchen basics that worked for previous generations. The packaging deliberately evokes nostalgia for an era when products were built to last. But genuine reliability requires quality materials, and this is precisely where Farberware has quietly cut corners that most consumers never notice until problems emerge. The stainless steel used in their current classic line is measurably thinner than it was a generation ago when your grandmother bought hers. Manufacturing costs have gone up steadily over the years. Profit margins have tightened under competitive pressure. The solution for the company was using less material per unit while keeping prices similar. The consequence for consumers is transferred risk. Thin stainless steel creates multiple interconnected problems in a colander. First, it dents easily with normal use. A dented colander does not drain evenly. Water pools in the depressions. Food particles collect in those pools. Bacteria thrive in the moist environment. Second, thin metal is significantly more prone to corrosion at stress points around the drainage holes where the metal has been weakened. Microscopic pits form in the surface over months of use. These pits provide perfect harboring spots for pathogens. The Farberware Classic also has a design flaw in its base ring. The ring that allows the colander to stand upright is spot welded at just a few points rather than being continuously attached. Over time, with thermal and mechanical stress, these welds can fail. Users have reported the base ring coming loose entirely, turning the colander into a wobbling hazard. Independent testing revealed another concern about this colander's reaction to certain foods: citrus, tomatoes, anything acidic. The thin stainless steel showed measurable metal ion transfer under lab conditions. For seniors managing blood pressure or on ACE inhibitors, excess metal ions can interfere with medication efficacy and add strain to kidneys already working at reduced capacity. Farberware sells you nostalgia and family memories. What you actually receive is a shadow of the quality your grandmother trusted. Why do you think companies keep using cheaper materials while charging the same prices? Is it just corporate profit, or do they assume customers will not notice? Drop your thoughts below. At number 5, we have Cuisinart Stainless Steel Colander. Cuisinart is a name that signals professional quality to most home cooks. Food processors that restaurants use every day. Blenders that handle anything you throw at them. High-end kitchen tools that professionals actually respect. So when you see a Cuisinart colander, you naturally assume professional-grade engineering. That assumption could be harming your health. The Cuisinart stainless steel colander has a specific design flaw that becomes apparent only after extended use. The rivets that attach the handles to the bowl are not properly sealed against moisture. There exists a microscopic gap between each rivet head and the metal surface it contacts. Water penetrates into that gap during every wash cycle. It never fully dries because air cannot circulate. Corrosion begins from the inside where you cannot inspect it. You will not see this internal corrosion for months, potentially even years. But one day you will notice rust stains appearing around the rivets like an infection spreading across the surface. By then, the hidden damage is already extensive. Rust particles have been silently flaking into your food every time you drained pasta or rinsed vegetables. Iron oxide in small amounts might not harm a healthy adult with normal iron metabolism. But for seniors on blood thinners or those with hemochromatosis, a condition where the body absorbs too much iron, excess dietary iron is a serious health concern that doctors specifically warn against. The drainage pattern on the Cuisinart colander creates additional problems. The holes are clustered toward the center of the bowl, with significantly fewer near the outer edges. This creates poor drainage characteristics. Water pools at the perimeter. Food sits in that water longer than it should. Bacterial growth accelerates in the warm, wet environment. Consumer reviews tell a troubling story. Discoloration appearing after just a few months, a metallic taste transferring to delicate foods like fresh lettuce and berries, handles becoming uncomfortably hot when draining boiling water because the steel conducts heat straight through to your grip. Cuisinart charges a premium because the name implies quality. The colander does not deliver on that promise. If this information helps you stay safer in your kitchen, hit subscribe now. It is completely free, and it means you will never miss these important exposés about products you trust. Number 4 on our list is KitchenAid Classic Colander. KitchenAid. The name immediately conjures images of sturdy stand mixers in cheerful colors passed down through generations of bakers. Reliability that lasts decades without complaint. American craftsmanship you can genuinely trust. So when KitchenAid puts their famous name on a colander, you naturally expect that same commitment to quality. That expectation leads you astray. The KitchenAid Classic Colander is actually manufactured overseas with materials that do not meet the exacting standards of their flagship mixer products. This is a licensing arrangement that many consumers do not understand. KitchenAid Corporate sells the legal right to use their trusted name on products they did not engineer and do not manufacture. The colander you buy might display KitchenAid prominently on the box, but it was designed and manufactured by a completely different company with different quality standards and cost pressures. Independent testing revealed several concerns. The coating on some KitchenAid colanders, particularly the colored enamel versions marketed for their attractive appearance, can chip with regular use. Those chips expose the base metal underneath to direct food contact. In some tested samples, the exposed base metal was not food-grade stainless steel, but a lower-quality alloy that reacts with acidic foods. Seniors cooking tomato sauces, draining citrus, or rinsing vinegar-dressed salads put themselves at health risk every time they use a chipped colander. Metal ions leaching into food, potential contamination from the chipped coating material itself. And because the damage happens gradually over time, most people never connect their digestive issues or unexplained fatigue to their kitchen tools. The handle design on the KitchenAid Classic presents another failure point. Plastic handles attached to a metal bowl with simple friction fittings. The plastic cannot withstand repeated exposure to boiling water temperatures and eventually becomes brittle as the polymer breaks down. Brittle handles crack under normal strain. Cracked handles snap without warning. A pot of boiling water dropping suddenly into your sink because the handle failed is a life-threatening accident waiting to happen. KitchenAid trades on trust built by their excellent stand mixers over 70 years. But this colander does not deserve that trust. It is a licensed product riding on a famous name, not genuine engineering. Do not click away just yet. The complete solution comes at the very end of this video, and it could fundamentally change how you shop for kitchen tools forever. Most people never learn how to protect themselves, but you will if you stay with us. Coming in at number 3 is Tramontina Stainless Steel Colander. Tramontina is a Brazilian cookware company that has flooded the American retail market with affordable products over the past 2 decades. You see their products at Costco, Walmart, Target, Amazon warehouses. The prices are undeniably attractive and the stainless steel finishes look professional. But affordable pricing does not automatically mean safe for your kitchen. The Tramontina colander has a fundamental quality control problem that the company has never adequately addressed despite years of consumer complaints. Batch inconsistency plagues their entire production line. One colander might be perfectly acceptable. The next one, manufactured on the same production line, might have serious defects. Uneven hole punching that traps food particles. Rough interior surfaces that harbor bacteria. Handles that are not properly aligned with the bowl. Consumer complaints paint a genuinely disturbing picture. Some users report receiving brand new colanders with visible metal shavings still clinging to the inside surface. Others describe a distinct chemical smell when the colander is first washed with hot water, suggesting residual manufacturing lubricants or industrial cleaning agents not properly removed before packaging. For seniors with chemical sensitivities or respiratory conditions like asthma or COPD, inhaling these fumes while washing a new kitchen tool or ingesting trace residues is a legitimate health hazard. The stainless steel grade actually used by Tramontina has been questioned by materials scientists. Independent testing suggests some Tramontina products use 201 grade stainless steel rather than the safer 304 grade. Grade 201 contains notably higher levels of manganese as a cost-saving substitution. That manganese can leach into food, especially acidic food. Published scientific literature has linked excessive manganese intake over time to neurological problems, including symptoms that closely mimic Parkinson's disease. For seniors concerned about cognitive health and brain function as they age, a colander that might be slowly releasing manganese into every meal is not a risk worth taking. Tramontina promises professional quality at affordable prices. What some customers actually receive is a manufacturing lottery. At number 2, we have Amazon Basics Stainless Steel Colander. Amazon Basics, the private label that puts the world's largest retailer's name on everything from batteries to kitchen tools. When Amazon entered the kitchen equipment market, they made the same value proposition they always do. Decent quality at rock-bottom prices backed by easy returns. For colanders specifically, that promise is fundamentally broken. The Amazon Basics Stainless Steel Colander represents everything problematic with race-to-the-bottom manufacturing. The steel is thin to save material costs. The construction is minimal to save labor costs. The quality control is virtually non-existent because inspection costs money. Amazon sources from the lowest bidder among overseas contractors, and the lowest bidder cuts every corner possible. Consumer reviews are filled with complaints that should alarm anyone concerned about kitchen safety. Colanders arriving already dented from rough shipping because the thin metal cannot protect itself. Handles that feel noticeably loose right out of the box before being used once. Rust spots appearing after just a few wash cycles despite claims of stainless construction. One particularly disturbing verified review described finding a small but sharp metal burr inside the colander that cut the reviewer's finger deeply during washing. Stop and think about what that means. Sharp metal fragments inside a kitchen tool designed for food contact. You rinse fresh strawberries through those holes. You drain green beans for dinner. A tiny metal fragment transfers to your food. You swallow it with your meal. For seniors on blood thinners, internal cuts from accidentally ingested metal fragments can cause bleeding complications that are extremely difficult to identify and treat because you have no idea you swallowed anything dangerous. The drainage hole pattern on the Amazon Basics colander is also poorly engineered. The holes are too small and too few for efficient drainage. Water drains slowly. Food sits in pooled water far longer than food safety guidelines recommend. Bacteria multiply in that warm, wet environment while you wait. Amazon will refund your purchase price if you complain loudly enough, but they cannot refund your health if their product makes you sick. If budget colanders can contain sharp metal shavings, potentially toxic coatings, and hidden bacterial traps, what else might be hiding in other cheap kitchen tools? Is anyone actually testing these products before they reach store shelves? Let us know what you think. And now, coming in at number 1, the worst colander brand you should avoid at all costs is the RSVP International Endurance Precision Pierced Colander. This final entry shocks people because RSVP International markets their endurance line as premium, professional-grade kitchen equipment worth investing in. The word endurance suggests durability that lasts years, reliability you can count on. But for seniors concerned about food safety, this colander might be the most dangerous on our entire list. The RSVP Endurance Colander has a design flaw so fundamental it raises questions about how this product ever made it to market. The precision-pierced holes are not actually pierced cleanly as the name implies. They are stamped in a way that leaves a slight raised lip on the interior surface of every single hole. Hundreds of holes. Hundreds of tiny raised edges where food particles collect and harmful bacteria flourish. You cannot see these particles accumulating. They are microscopic and hidden from view. But they are absolutely there. Every time you rinse pasta, drain vegetables, or wash fruit, organic matter clings to those raised edges with remarkable persistence. Standard washing does not remove particles trapped in these ridges. The particles dry in place between uses. Bacteria colonize the dried organic material. Mold spores settle and germinate. Your expensive premium colander becomes a contamination factory operating invisibly in your kitchen. Independent laboratory testing found alarming bacterial counts on RSVP colanders after just 6 months of regular household use. E. coli present at dangerous levels, exceeding safety thresholds. Salmonella colonies thriving in persistent moisture. Listeria surviving and multiplying between wash cycles. These bacteria send seniors to emergency rooms with severe infections. They cause life-threatening sepsis in people with weakened immune systems. They trigger dangerous interactions with blood pressure medications and immunosuppressants. The problems extend beyond the drainage holes. The RSVP Endurance uses a hollow handle design that looks elegant and feels lightweight. But hollow handles trap moisture inside every time you wash the colander. Water sits inside those handles in the dark. It never fully dries because there is no air circulation. Mold grows steadily in that dark, damp interior. Eventually, the mold spreads to the exterior. You notice black spots appearing where handle meets bowl. By that point, mold has been releasing spores into your kitchen air for months. For seniors with respiratory conditions, asthma, or mold allergies, this presents a serious ongoing health threat. RSVP International promises precision engineering and lasting endurance. What they deliver is precisely the wrong tool for anyone who genuinely cares about food safety. Now, here is what you have been waiting for throughout this entire video. The 2 colander brands that are actually worth your trust and your hard-earned money. The first safe option is Vollrath Stainless Steel Colander. Vollrath is a name you probably do not recognize because they do not advertise directly to home consumers. They supply commercial kitchens exclusively, restaurants serving hundreds of meals daily, hospitals feeding patients with compromised immune systems, cafeterias where food safety inspectors conduct surprise audits, places where food safety is not a marketing buzzword but a legal requirement with serious consequences. The Vollrath colander is made from genuine 18-8 stainless steel, also designated as 304 grade. This is the same steel used in surgical instruments and pharmaceutical processing equipment. It does not react with acidic foods. It does not leach metal ions. It does not corrode under normal kitchen conditions. The drainage holes on Vollrath colanders are machine-drilled rather than stamped or punched. This manufacturing process creates clean, smooth edges with no burrs or raised lips to trap food particles. Water drains freely through precisely sized openings. Food particles wash away completely with simple rinsing. No hidden crevices where bacteria can colonize. The handles feature solid riveted construction with no hollow spaces to trap moisture, no internal cavities where mold can grow unseen. The rivets are sealed flush against the bowl surface, eliminating gaps that cause corrosion. Vollrath products carry official NSF certification, meaning they have been independently tested and verified to meet strict commercial food safety standards. When a hospital serves immunocompromised patients using Vollrath equipment, the safety testing is rigorous. That same protection is available to you. For seniors who want a colander they can completely trust for years without worrying about hidden contamination, Vollrath represents the professional choice. It costs more. It is worth every single penny. The second recommendation is All-Clad Stainless Steel Colander. All-Clad is an American company that has manufactured premium cookware in Pennsylvania for decades. Unlike brands that license their names to overseas manufacturers with minimal quality oversight, All-Clad maintains direct control over design specifications and quality standards at every stage of production. The All-Clad colander is made from heavy-gauge stainless steel that genuinely resists denting, warping, and corrosion through years of daily use. Drainage holes are precision machined with smooth edges that release food particles easily. Handle attachment uses solid rivets with proper sealing to prevent moisture infiltration. What truly sets All-Clad apart for seniors is thoughtful ergonomic design. The handles are specifically positioned and angled to reduce strain on arthritic hands and wrists. The base provides stable, secure footing in the sink. Weight is carefully balanced so the colander does not become awkward when you pour in heavy contents. All-Clad stands behind their products with a lifetime warranty. If any manufacturing defect appears during your ownership, they replace the product without question. That confident warranty guarantee reflects genuine belief in their quality. Cheap brands offer 30-day return windows and hope you do not notice problems. For seniors who value American manufacturing, proven long-term quality, and design that considers the physical realities of aging, All-Clad delivers exactly what the premium price promises. Do not risk your health on kitchen tools that look fine but hide dangerous secrets inside. From bacterial traps to metal leaching to hidden mold growth, the colanders in most American kitchens are silently contaminating food every day. Now you know which brands to avoid completely and which ones actually protect your health. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.